This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 633, recorded sometime the end of August. No, beginning of August, end of July, thereabouts, 2019.
It all feels about the same.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, time flies. And time is the fire in which we burn. Oh, God. Okay. Sorry. I will eventually let that quote go.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
I've known you for 20 years. When have you ever let anything go?
Yeah.
Let
God.
it go. Let it go.
Yeah. So, hey, Brian
You won't
Kilmer here.
even let me go.
No, I did let you go for a while. I just couldn't find you. But now we're back together forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm Chris.
It's Chris. It was Don before. Matt's here. He's nodding. Diecast is looking down at something.
Hello. Rob's the one laughing.
Rob's laughing. John's on mute, doing parenting stuff.
False.
That's false positive there, Brian.
And Jason. We have a Jason here this week.
Yay!
Yes, you brought me on.
Yeah, I forgot. I was only 5 minutes late. Sometimes I'm like 25 minutes late with John, so...
True.
You're fine. You're here.
I'm good.
This is the only podcast you do regularly now, right?
Well, regularly, but yes,
Quote,
you are
regularly, correct. Since you've given up podcasting.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Sadness. I hate to say it. Like, I don't
No,
have any...
he hasn't...
I don't have many friends. I don't like... as a general rule of thumb, when a friend has a podcast, I don't listen to it. I just don't. Like, I think you're like the only person on that list that I did, and now they're gone.
Yeah, just keep guilt tripping. It doesn't matter.
I don't have a Star Trek podcast to listen to anymore.
Well, that's,
but you can only listen to my Star Trek podcast when I told you that we mentioned you on the show.
Hey, like I said, if I have a friend, they have a podcast, I don't listen to it.
See, what I'm hearing is we're not really friends.
No, and Chris, remember, me and Molith are ready to do a Star Trek podcast as well, but you won't let us do it.
No, you're not ready to do a Star Trek podcast. You're ready to do a fanfic podcast.
Well, no, it's on the...
For third-party things that are, infringing on Star Trek IP that CBS highly frowns upon now.
No, they have permission.
See, the fact that Moloth wants to do a Star Trek podcast is all the motivation that Chris needs to not do a Star Trek podcast.
Moloth unfollowed me on Twitter. He no longer exists. He can't be on anything on the network. So, yeah, he is gone.
Oh, that's fine. If I bring back the Star Trek podcast, I wasn't planning to invite him anyway.
Okay, good. Good. So,
but just mean Matt's on the hook for another podcast every week if that happens.
Poor Scott.
Yes, he's gone. Goodbye. Unceremoniously dumped. Right back at you. So, so there's stuff to talk about this week, and we got stuff to do. Let's jump into what we got this week. I'm going to start off. With what Dusty brought me, because Dusty was watching during pre-show about 25 minutes ago. It's like, hey, things are dragging. I'm coming over and bringing you something. I'm like, what? I wasn't expecting this. And as a parent, I'm a big fan of these things, and I had no idea that it existed for Transformers. It's a Transformers busy book.
Oh, neat.
Oh.
You guys know what busy books are? So busy books it's a little book. It's got a couple pages in it of story, but the big thing that it has in it are miniature toys and like a poster or something that you play with them on. So there's and this is like the evergreen style stuff. So it's got Megatron, Soundwave, Optimus. Optimus is in robot and car mode. Megatron is also in, actually I guess they all transform, quote unquote transform, meaning that there's a, alt mode for each of them. Maybe not Soundwave, but man, this is awesome. I love these things as a parent. But yeah, this is pretty exciting. I love these things. So thank you, Dusty. This really literally made my day. This is pretty awesome. God, I got a lot of stuff this week. Lancer. Yay, Lancer. Hey, look at me.
Answer last week. You're.
I'm behind. Galactic Man, Shockwave, and it even says Galactic Man on it in that font, like that Tandy font.
Yes,
it's amazing.
I'm just so ridiculously happy that we got Galactic Man.
I know, it's wonderful. So here, like with Shockwave, all that extraneous stuff, the battle parts, I take off because I think they look terrible. So I'm left with the core figure. And while I love it, I do love it. This is like the best Shockwave released in years, but it's so small without those extra parts. It's so small, but it's beautiful, and it has the Tandy font or the Tandy-like font. So that's wonderful.
I would love for somebody to upscale that now that you mentioned it, just so it could be, a credible size space gun in your hands, and then a really, really big space battleship with all the stuff tacked on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm sure they're working on it.
Princeton in the chat says Brian is behind. Well, that's why I'm getting all this stuff out of the way first. Finally got Refractor. Got it from Amazon.
Well, you're still ahead of me on that one.
So I've been to 3 Walmarts recently, and they all actually had 2 Refractors.
That's because that's what's in the case.
Yep. So it's okay. I like it. I'm glad it exists.
I've been to many Walmarts recently, and the pegs are full of 6-gun and Prowl and Chromia.
I saw a Brunt on Sunday.
I just have Chromias.
Me
as far
too.
as the eye can see.
Yeah. Like everywhere I go, there are 3 Chromias, 3 Prowls, and 3 6-guns.
Come here, I have 6 Chromias.
I got another
Mine has
Brunt.
Hound.
I'd forgotten that I pre-ordered Brunt from Big Bad Toy Store, so I had it in my pile of loot. So that came. So you can never have too many Battlemaster or whatever the hell they're called.
Weaponizers.
Weaponizers.
So, Brian, are you going to get the box set reflector with the toy colors and the extra parts?
Yeah, I've got it pre-ordered. It's lovely.
It is.
Let's see what to go to next. Dawn was awesome and wonderful and a great friend to me and humanity, and got me Red Wing. And it's pretty. I like it.
Nice.
It's really nice. Making a pile back here because I have quite a bit more stuff to go through. Quite a bit being like 4.
And Brian, if you play your cards right, you could potentially buy that mold 5 more times during the month of August.
Potentially?
Yeah. Actually, I already have. I bought it 3 more times. That's for next week. So in my search of going back and buying things that I had and sold, I have Robot Masters Reverse Convoy.
Ooh, I always wanted to get one of those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's so...
He got super expensive there for a while, didn't he?
It's more than I paid for it. It's more than I sold it for. So...
Yeah, I mean, what did that set you back, if you don't mind?
Shipped, $80.
Yeah. Okay, that's more than I would pay.
Yeah, well, I wanted it.
Yeah.
I'd get a loose one, though.
Yeah.
They hardly ever show up. So...
Yeah, that'd be something to find at like a show.
Yeah, so there were 2, and this is one of the 2. This is the cheaper of the 2. So, for those who don't know, it is the G2 Hero Megatron repainted with. Is it the head of Hero Optimus or is it a new head?
It's a new head.
Yeah. So,
and then it has they replaced Megatron's head with a Convoy head, and then put an extra Megatron head hidden in a box on the cannon turret for surprise fooled you action.
Yes, right.
Fooled you. Thank you, Don.
I think it was Steven or somebody on Twitter a couple weeks ago was asking me about MP40, and I'm like, I don't have it. I don't think, and I had to look and I double checked and I didn't have it, so now I have it. So that's the Target Master Hot Rod.
I will say one thing about the Robot Masters is they have some of the best looking packaging of all the lines, because you can see the figure most on all the sides. It looks great on display. Because I got the Dreadwind and Darkwing, the Dreadwind and Smoke Jumper repaint. Smoke Jumper repaint, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Robot Master packaging design. It in a lot of ways, it feels like a product of its time, but it is fairly striking looking. And as for the Target Master Hot Rod there, I at least appreciate that they made a toy specifically in that, one episode's wrong deco.
Yeah, it's nice. And it it's obviously and apparently different than the other hot rod. But if you're not looking and you're not like really discerning like me, I like if he wasn't holding the Target Master, I would probably confuse the two. I'm just not a visual person. So a few more things. One is, so I'm not even going to show this for people watching video. I'll just tell you about it. I forgot even what the set's called, but it's that arcade bot set.
Arcade Renegades?
Yeah, Arcade Renegades. Amazon had it. I picked it up. It's what, a 12-pack? I think.
16
pack. 16. So they're nice. I like them. I think my favorite one is a little Sharkticon. It's pretty cool.
Is that the one in the tuna can?
I guess that's what it is. I didn't know. I couldn't tell what it transformed into.
Well, there's also the baseball cap from Series 2 that turns into something that looks like a cross between the Sharkticon and the Scraplet.
Yeah. I got the trade paperback of Tom Scioli's GoBots. So this isn't something that this isn't a Transformer that I bought, but from Don had shared with me somebody that I follow on Twitter that were selling some baseball cards, and I still buy baseball cards and stuff. On the packaging, of the thing, I bought it from eBay, but on the packaging they drew a G2 Sideswipe on it for me, which I thought was nice. So that made my day. And one more thing, actually, I guess 3 things, but I'll share it at once. In further pursuit of trying to finish out which I'm very far away, but I'm a little bit closer now. Finish out the 1985 McDonald's Happy Meal toys. I got 2 additional gears and a hound.
A Brawn?
Brawn, yeah, sorry, Brawn. Sorry, brain not working. Yeah, so so I now have 5 out of like 24.
Oh, progress.
Yeah, it's progress. Yeah. And they're more economical than I was expecting. So like a couple of these are not like in pristine condition, but they're not, I mean, like just at a glance they're fine, and they're substantially cheaper than like the really pristine pieces. So
good enough for your shelves.
Yes. Never thought I would have one. Now I have 5. Hopefully,
yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, hopefully before I die, I'll have all of them. We'll see. We shall see.
Well, you know, Brian, today is a good day to die.
Yes. Today is a good day to die. Don, you're next on the list. What'd you get?
Oh, and I've got a couple of weeks worth of backlog since my various time off. So yeah, it's settling, guys. I'm gonna do the off-topic stuff first. Thanks to thanks to the sale at GameStop, I was able to pick up some Power Rangers Legacy stuff for $20 a piece because they had that big online sale. And so I got the 5-coin morpher.
You told us about that.
Yeah, but I did that in post-show. I haven't done it actually for everybody
I wish
else.
I knew that your GameStop actually had some of that stuff in stock. I would have had you mule me some.
Well, I got the last of it. So, because I
would have had you do without for my sake, Don.
So I literally got the last of all of this. So I got the 5-coin morpher because I don't really need the Tommy morpher. And then I also
morpher better.
Yeah, I got Saba for $20.
I don't even know what any of this stuff is.
Oh, that's fine. This isn't for you.
Yeah, I got the Legacy Blade Blaster for $20. And I got the Ninja Megazord for $20. So I got those. I also got from Eagle Mouse my Mark I Classic Series Battlestar Galactica Viper.
Those are way bigger than I thought they were.
Yeah, these are just magnificent. The detailing.
Are the Star Trek ones smaller than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ships well, see, these are also like the next tier up. These are the Voyager to those. If the basic starships are deluxes, these are more like your Voyagers kind of size.
Yeah, they have extra large Star Trek ships, but like this is a normal size Defiant. It's quite small, and they're all about the same footprint.
Yeah. So I have this in the Galactic. I called them and made sure to tell them, don't send me any new Galactica stuff from the reboot, just the classic. So there's that. My last off topic that I got was again from GameStop, but I did not know this was even a thing until I saw it. I've always been a Ghostbusters fan. I'm not the biggest fan in the world, but I am a Ghostbusters fan, especially for real Ghostbusters. When I saw this, I had to have it because I figured with all the money I saved on the Legacy stuff, I could splurge on this. This is the San Diego Real Ghostbusters Comic-Con exclusive set that has the characters. This is the version that has them as the spectral ghosts in that one episode of Real Ghostbusters that tells them why they got the new jumpsuits. So it's basically the spectral Ghostbusters in the movie suits, but Real Ghostbusters format, along with a Stay Puft and a translucent terror dog. And that's the packaging right there.
Okay, now talk about Transformers.
So I am. So, but I really like that set. It's just, I'm really glad I got it. I don't have them with me. I left them in the car by mistake, but I got Red Alert, Brunt, Caliburst, and Smashdown. So I've got those. Thanks to Chris for helping me pick up Ectotron. He sent me Ectotron again. Thank you, Chris, very much. I appreciate that. I picked up. He's not a holy grail, but he's been on my list. Yeah,
he's been down too long in the Midnight Sea.
But I've always liked Alternity, Battletech, and Alternity. But they get really pricey.
Yes.
But off eBay, he doesn't have his driver. The driver broke according to the seller, and he could not find the sword. But I picked up Alternity Fortress Maximus. He was $15.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know why I know why I don't give a crap about alternators, but Alternity I find fascinating. That's awesome.
So I got him for $15. I'm hoping to find.
What's he missing?
He's missing the sword. The Kabaya Fortress Maximus sword is almost a fit, but the handle needs to be square, not round, because his fist is basically a square. So I need to either find another one of these that I can sell, shave down, or just sacrifice this for him. But I forgot.
Was the sword its own kit, or was it in another box? Was something else?
No. This sword came with the Kabaya.
Yes, was it part? Was it?
Didn't Fortress Maximus come as like 3 or 4 different sub kits?
3 boxes. Each one was like a battle station, and then you made it. Yeah,
that's right. I've got it. I put it together years ago. I just don't remember anything about putting it together.
So when I go to TFCon, I will see if I can't scrounge around for either his real sword or another sword I can adapt. But I've wanted that one for a long time.
That's awesome, Don. I love that.
Yeah, and thanks to Al, I can't say his handle on. I can't pronounce his handle on the name wise, but he went by Al. I picked up a spare Optimus Primal
Transmetal.
Transmetal Optimus Primal, because I figured for $15,
yes,
I've got one to fiddle with at the desk, and then I've also got an extra gun and maces if anything happens to mine.
Love that toy.
And I've still got my original one that I got, because it's weird, because the morning I found this in the stores, M. Cypher, our friend M. Cypher,
Greg, yeah.
he was living across town from me, and I was able to buy. I bought 2 primals. Yeah, but I bought 2 primals and both Megatrons at 2 different Walmarts, and I got him a set for him as well because they had just been put out that morning. So I was, said, but $15, I will always take another Optimus Primal.
I wish
I was thinking about picking that up myself because, I only have the factory error pink chrome
pinkish one,
Transmetal Primal.
I've got that one
I don't have it
signed by Gary Chalk. I had him sign that at BotCon.
Don,
mine came loose.
Don, I wish I'd known you when you lived over there. That way, when I went to go see Greg, I could see you as well. We could just have like a big old happy lunch together.
Yeah. Well, Greg also. Yeah. Then of course I got all the I got the stuff, everything else y'all got. Red Wing, Galactic Man, and Lancer. And I do have one big
kettle in your apartment, Don.
No, that's my automatic ice maker. I've got I was making ice for my tea after a while. And that, I think, I've got one big thing coming, but it's still in transit from China. Hopefully I'll have it for next week.
Okay, cool. So I was going to say,
that's mysterious.
yes, that Power Master, that Transmetal Optimus Primal. I'm going to say it's in my top 10 Transformers of all time. I think it is. I love that toy.
I mean, it's simple, but it does just a really great conversion. You know, I wish
both.
I would love to get another Megatron, because it's like I'm afraid to transform my
mine's flaking.
I've got the Takara version. Mine's still perfect.
Yeah.
As I recall, you got a really great deal on that too.
$25. It was loose, but I got a Takara Transmetal Megatron for $25 in like 2008.
Well, hey Matt, tell us how much you love that Transmetal Optimus Primal and Megatron. What'd you get this week?
So, I got a Brunt. I got it from Amazon because they didn't price gouge it like they did the refractors.
Well, it wasn't Amazon price gouging. It was somebody on Amazon.
No, it was Amazon.
Amazon sales actually got up to about $30 at one point.
Mine were $19.99.
Yeah. So he is pretty much the biggest parts former to ever parts form. But I like him well enough. He completes my Triptychon.
Most everyone I've talked to puts like Brunt like better than Cog, but not as good as Six Gun. So some people I've talked, most everybody I've talked to,
that,
seem like
right? Cog the best.
As a robot, I would say that's a fair ranking. As a weaponizer, I would say Cog is significantly better.
Oh yeah, Brunt's dead last in like functionality.
Yeah. Yes, and making actual weapons. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think if I had like 3 or 4 of them, I could get like a Dr. Octopus thing going on with some Transformer, because like it's like ready to go, making the claw arms that go over. You just need a second set and an adapter to kind of mount both together.
Yeah.
See that's what's strange. I don't do any of that kind of weaponizer stuff. I just like
that's because you have no joy in your soul, Don. We talked about this on Twitter today.
All right, so I have been avoiding the Siege Seeker mold for, the better part of the past year now.
But now you have them all.
Well, they announced Rainmakers, which is what I said would be the one thing that could get me to buy that mold. So I did not find the Rainmakers yet, sadly. Dawn's looking out for me, though.
Yep.
But I broke down and bought Starscream.
What do you think?
I think he's ugly. Incredibly, just over greebly detailed. I don't like it.
It's under base, Starscream. He's
Oh God, Brian! I have been for months. It's been bothering me what that reminds me of.
We talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I said it on the show like a month ago or 2 months ago.
I didn't think about it. I'm sorry. It's been a hectic month for me. Sorry.
So I don't like the over detailed. I don't like the alt mode. But as figure goes, I mean, he's posable enough. I mean, he's a seeker. There will be more.
He's beautiful in red.
Dawn was also kind enough to mule me a Red Wing.
Dawn's a wonderful man.
Nice.
Dawn is a wonderful man.
And he sent it to you, and you have it?
That was the part that surprised me, too.
He had Target ship it directly to me.
Well,
that was smart.
In my defense, I'm kind of shocked because the last time I tried that, it was supposed to be picked up at my local store for my Red Wing and Brian's Red Wing, and it was sent to my address, even though the order specifically said pick up at store.
I don't have a local Target, so.
Oh yeah, I should have done that. I should have sent it to the Target, the closest Target to him, and make him go pick it up.
Well,
I was there the other day.
I probably could have picked it up.
Yeah, I was there the other day looking for Rainmakers, but sadly they have not restocked anything in quite some time. It looked like.
Yeah, Don actually put me on the list for looking out for Rainmakers too, because I don't know if it's just a not yet thing, but all the Target locations in this part of the state so far are looking like they're not carrying that set at all.
But it's far more important that you find them for me.
Mine are coming via UPS tomorrow.
Yeah, after I find a set for myself, I'll be more than happy to find y'all a set, And if I just find one set, I'll randomly send each of y'all one or two, and then y'all can fight over who gets to watch.
I'm okay with fighting for them. I'm down with that.
Says the Marine.
But yeah, I will do my best to get everybody, because I'm going out to see my aunt tomorrow. She lives in Greensboro, so I'll keep my eyes out for multiple sets if possible.
Yeah, I'm still hoping Target will restock on their website and I can just go directly with that, but at this point I don't really want to take chances.
Yeah, let me know if that ever happens, because I need those Rainmakers too.
What else did you get, Matt? Anything?
No, just those three things. After last week's haul, I had to. I shouldn't have bought those.
Good haul. Like it. Chris.
Okay, so the newest thing I got was my own Lancer. Unfortunately, mine was put together wrong and is missing one of the rivets in the leg. I have it pinned temporarily so the leg doesn't just fall off, but that's very annoying, and I'm waiting to hear back from Hasbro Pulse customer service and for them to tell me how they can't actually do anything to help me because they don't have any more. But, gotta try. I like the colors in person, though, and it's proven remarkably easy to photograph, although with the defect, I have not actually gone to try to do a gallery of it yet, so something will be coming in the form of a new gallery. I just don't know what, but sometime in the next few days, I'll come up with something. Going back a little bit older, I picked up, this is the Legends Chrome Dome with the Headmaster's faceplate and slightly different deco.
Oh, the one that supposedly showed up in Walmart's there for a while, but
no, this is the actual Takara one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one that showed up in the Walmart for a while had the Takara face, but the Hasbro deco. This is fully the Takara figure, also with the aftermarket rifles.
How different is the deco? I was under the impression that at that point the decos were basically the same.
They're really not. So the brown and tan are like a warmer color value, and the layout's different. Like, this is a lot more brown than the Hasbro Chrome Dome is. I don't have the Hasbro one within arm's reach, shockingly enough.
Yeah, I know. You're right. It was with the Siege when we started to have the same decos, or was it Power of the Primes?
Power of the Primes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this was when Takara toys were still like interesting and worthwhile to import. Sometimes.
Like the cup and everything were different. Yeah, that's right.
Cup was very, very different.
Yeah.
And then Power of the Primes came along and denied me my Buster and Hydra.
Me too. I mean,
yeah.
Well, that could still happen as a select, I guess.
Oh, I really hope that does.
Hasbro, get on that.
Or Takara, we get them either way.
Yeah, wasn't there some indication at some point that Takara was going to do that? I have.
We expected them to.
Yeah, we expected it.
Well,
I don't remember anything exactly pointing to it. It might have been something that was on a rumor list that we ended up debunking.
Yeah. Now I have to go back and look at the news.
Well, let me know what you turn up, because if there's something to remember, I'd like to remember it. I also, from Paladin, got another Robots in Disguise Storm Shot. I already have one, but I like this toy a lot and had designs on like getting a little squad of them together because so for anybody who remembers Creo after like the start of the second year, I think, or maybe third, when it was more focused on the minifigures than the building figures. One of the sets had Autobot troopers where some of them were obviously car alt moded even though they didn't transform, and some came with wings. So this is basically Stormshot is my jet auto trooper stand-in basically because I like that idea a lot. I'll probably get another one if I find one at a good price, but at least now I'm 2 up instead of just having a single. And then I think the last thing I have for this week is I tried last week to have some non-F upgrade parts for Sideswipe, but there was a production issue, so there was a delay. But I got the weapon upgrade set for Sideswipe, which has a rocket launcher and a little rocket piece, and then a rifle, which I think it's just the launcher that can come either in black and white, and the rocket and rifle are always in white. But for like $7 plus shipping, these are nice and make Sideswipe stand out a little bit, and also lets me reassigned Sideswipe's weapon to Red Alert, so he's now weapons complete. So it's basically like a 2-for-1 thing, although Non-F does have a specific Red Alert kit, too, if you want them to have matching gear. And because there was the problem, I actually got a little bag of random freebie weapons, too.
Cool.
To kind of make up for the inconvenience. So that was fun to get today. And I think that covers me for everything this week.
Cool. Diecast, what'd you get?
What? Oh.
Yes, Diecast, I know I was talking, but you can start paying attention again now.
I got Lahair, which is Hot Rod.
Oh, okay.
So he's really. I haven't gotten a chance to transform him yet, but the car mode is really nice. It's even got seats inside. Doors open up, as you can see. You can fit the girl inside the car because it comes with the girl. It looks really, really nice. So I'm excited to actually, have time to transform it. But I could have probably did it while y'all were talking. But
yeah, you had plenty of time.
I also got the X-Trans bots. What is he called? Neptune? Yeah, Neptune. So that is awesome. This is the best looking sea spray that I've seen so far.
Well, almost, because aren't they doing a G2 one that's in the uncommon purple color variant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the best.
I don't know if I like that one though. I usually like those weird colors, and I'm not sure about that one.
I mean, for me, it's not the sea spray of my youth because I had the blue chrome sea spray like most people did, but I really appreciate them going for the more unusual, more unique color options that were out there.
Yeah,
I'm still tempted by the. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
Oh, I actually have that one, and I thought the color match was pretty decent from what I saw.
Oh, neat.
I mean, just the fact that they're doing G2 stuff is awesome. So
I'm still tempted by that green G2 beachcomber they did.
Yeah, G2 beachcomber is a great deco.
And then I also got I want to say Mech Fans Toys. This is Mechanic Studio, which is their Legends Hound. So, which is, I'm not sure if it's KO or someone else's or what, or if it's a new design. It's so hard to keep track sometimes.
Yeah, the Mech Fan Toys tends to be KO or slight upscales to the Legend stuff from DX9.
Well, this is Mechanic Studio. It's not Mech Fan Toys.
I'm sorry. I thought it said Mech Fan. I'm sorry.
So, like I said, I'm just not sure. But that's it.
Cool.
That's all?
That's it. Well, yeah. Okay. Jason, you have anything?
Let's see. Since last time I was actually able to, because last time I was on, we didn't do what we got. So I did get Brunt. I'm with Matt on that. It's definitely the most, parts former to parts form. He does look nice though with Triptychon, so that's good. I don't love the fact that whenever I try to transform mine, the mushroom peg pops off from the top each time, which for a mushroom peg is probably going to be bad once that keeps happening, since they're supposed to come out from the side. Let's see, Smashdown. I got Smashdown, which, he looked better in the CAD renders. His arms are just big flat panels with tiny little fists.
His arms and his leg, they're just big squares.
But Bullhammer.
So Diecast, thank you. Let's go ahead. Actually, Diecast, let's jump to the Unicron watch. Not like a... God, imagine if Unicron was a watch that's 19 pounds.
Yeah, that'd be a heavy watch.
Well, they did that Optimus Prime watch thing. They could do, that with Unicron.
So where are we now with Unicron? How many backers do we have?
Ooh, that's
looks like we have about 20 more than
this time
yesterday.
Over 2,000. So
we are not quote unquote not stress not contrary to what people say on the internet. Not on track to back this.
How many days has the campaign been going?
20 some?
No.
No,
I think
No,
it was more like
it's
it's about
SDCC.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
2
It's
weeks.
about 2 weeks.
But
We are at 2,093 backers.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yes, but do you know when we crossed the 2,000 threshold, diecast? That was like 3 days ago.
Yes. So
That's not
we've got
good.
93. We have 31 days left. So let's see. We have
we're on track to hit about 3,000.
Oh,
No.
I'd be a little more optimistic and say like
We're-
42.
We're
It'll
actually
be more
realistically
than
when we're
that.
on track to hit like 2,500. I am being optimistic.
Well, now here's one of the things that's funny. Now that you mentioned that, is because when you look at the Sakaratomi Mall, they say commercialized with 8,000 units achieved worldwide. Acceptance starts at Sakaratomi Mall in Japan too, and then it says it's to August 30th at 1300 hours.
1 p.m.
Okay. So I wonder if they're going to dump all those numbers in at the last minute, or if they're getting included now, or is this wrong?
Let's
and they're
backtrack
just
for
not
let's
getting
backtrack for a second,
included
okay?
at all?
Let's backtrack. So originally, we were told from John Warden that there were no tricks, no back doors, no extra added ways to get this over the hump. But now it looks like Takaratomi Mall, at the very least, they are backing this potentially. The translations have been iffy, but it does look like that those will probably, when I say probably, I'm like 70% likely, count toward this 8,000 goal. There are pre-sales up from Big Bad Toy Store, TF Source, and other places. You have to imagine that those will factor in as well.
Well,
He was
those stores are
specifically
so
asked if
small.
Japan would count, and he said no. He was specifically asked about Japan in the
When?
interview I heard.
When?
At SDCC.
Yes, but
When
things
they
have
were doing the
changed.
whole thing.
Yes, that was a long time ago. Things have changed since then.
And
Yeah,
then
20 days ago, right?
I also wonder if, like, because Big Bad Toy Store and Chosen Prime, TF Source, they're so relatively small. I almost expect
right.
expect them every time they get an order to go on and order another one.
Well, they
you know
probably
what
have
I
a
mean?
They
Like,
probably have a back door with Hasbro to
Yeah.
do, but basically that. Now, like, yeah, John said
Or
that.
they just have everybody who's working for their businesses going and making a Hasbro Pulse account and ordering 5 of them.
Right. But so John said that, but this other news item came after. So my guess, if I had to guess, that was probably the plan, that nothing like that would count toward this. But they're not on track. They're not on track to hit it. So
Well, no, Kickstarters usually aren't on track to hit stuff until the end.
That's
they
not
get
true.
their up.
things.
Yeah, it can be.
and
Certainly
the other
can be.
So
the other interesting thing is in Japan you can only buy 2. It is a maximum of 2.
This isn't Kickstarter. So Kickstarter is a place where people go to back things. Hasbro Pulse is the place where you go to buy Power Rangers figures and get them in 3 days. So
Well, it's still funny, of
yeah,
course,
but I mean, but like Kickstarter things, it's all over the place. Things are typically, a lot of things are backed in like 10 minutes or the same day. Sometimes things barely make it over the hump at the end, but they're trending toward it. This ain't doing
whether
that.
or not they do, there tends to be a large burst of backers at the beginning and a large burst of backers at the end.
Yes.
With Unicron, I expect to see a larger burst of backers at the back end because because people need time to actually secure the funding.
There's some of that. Yeah, there's definitely some of that. So, but like I'm just saying, we don't have enough data points to say one way or the other, like what is going to happen. But the way that the math works out right now, it is not on track to get backed.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
wonder-
as miserable looking as Cookie Monster, though.
No,
let's be
Cookie
fair.
Monster
No.
is really,
Yeah.
really
And
bad.
that just makes me more sad than the possibility of Unicron failing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they re-clarify the whole just does Japan count thing, because if people are kind of depending on Japan to come in and help save this a little bit, then they might be a little less reluctant or more reluctant to do it. So I don't know if they'll clarify that given what has been coming out, or if they'll just leave it alone.
The problem right now is just that we basically can't know what the Takara Tomy Mall involvement actually entails, because Okay, so like over the last 20 years, machine translation has gotten surprisingly good, especially for some languages. Some languages will translate out and be like almost naturally written English. Japanese isn't one of those. Now, I've been doing this long enough where basically you get to a point where the machine translation is a language unto itself.
Yeah.
And I've gotten pretty decent at interpreting that language because I've been doing this for so long. The problem is, though, the vagaries of Japanese, like just the way the grammar and everything works, this can be written in a really passive way. So they can kind of relate all the information they want to, but it can still be interpreted in like 4 or 5 different ways. Like the original Japanese on the product page on Takara Tomimall may not actually be that much more clear than what we're getting out of the translation. What we do know, unlike, say, Grand Maximus, where it was you put in your pre-order and once it gets to a certain point you get charged and it's just like a normal process. With this, there is what the translation is calling an application. The internal files are calling it a questionnaire form, but you're directed to a form that you fill out. You have to have a Takara Tomimall account, which requires having a Japanese address, etc. So we can't actually look at it directly, but there is a different process going on with this. And my suspicion, based on what I can see and interpret out of this, is that Takara Tomimall may very well be proxying for Hasbro Pulse for customers in Japan.
I'm certain that's what's going on.
So, at some point that is going to count, and we're only a few days into Takara Tomimall's campaign for this. So the application process, like it says that you'll be emailed a link to where to go to place your reservation or order. So it seems like this might be a manual review process. Like there's that possibility. So if they're going through that, we may see the Takara Tomimall input come in bursts over the next few weeks. But it also says that people in Japan, their cards won't be charged until mid-September. Mm-hmm. So that sounds even more like they're building themselves a cushion in on this for like data processing purposes. While they will probably have a preliminary idea at the time the campaign closes to tell Hasbro what to expect and how much they're contributing, like the final numbers probably won't even be in on August 31st.
So I take the thing that John Warden said with a total grain of salt. I think that was probably the plan at that time. I agree. I think these Takara Tomimall figures will be factored in. I think they have to. If Hasbro...
So when he said that, did we even know that it was going to be available through Takara Tomimall?
No, we didn't.
No.
So I think, but I'm certain there was speculation that it might be available in Japan or elsewhere somehow.
Well, and the other thing too is, like, just because John Warden said that doesn't mean he was trying to mislead. He may not have even been informed.
Yes,
exactly. If we didn't know they were going to be available through another.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not reputable.
Well, I can't imagine that would have just been sprung on him. Like Takara all of a sudden decided to do that. I'm sure they had to have known that would be a thing.
I'm just saying, like, he's got his one area of responsibilities, and this may fall under somebody else's supervision where, eventually he'll be conferenced in on it with, the quarterly update or whatever, but, from minute to minute, he doesn't know everything that Takara Tomy is doing with Transformers up to and including launching their leg of the Unicron race here.
So you can't see it if you're watching the video, but here's his target age, and it says 15 years old.
That's not unusual.
I love that, though.
Oh, okay.
I love
the other thing that's interesting about the Takara Tomy website is it says product content: Unicron body 1, ring parts, Uniclon body 1, ring parts 24, Thorn parts 4, cap 1. I don't know what the cap is. Replacement face. Destruction face, which we've seen photos of that in like a prototype, but we haven't had that confirmed yet that that's actually going to be a thing. The replacement face. So basically the whole face pops off, and that's how you get the damaged eyes and everything like that. So
Rob, why don't you go ahead and repeat your joke for us on stream?
Yes, by target age, I assume they mean minimum safe age to lift.
You must be this tall to play with Unicron.
Yeah. So then we have stand parts 3. So obviously you're going to have to put the stand together. And it says this product is under planning. So each part, the number of parts may change. So it is subject to change. But I thought the destruction face, the replacement face, was really cool because that's something that that's probably one of the hidden features that they didn't announce yet. So we're kind of getting a peek into that. There may be other things as well. We don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see.
And Hasbro may not know either. So let's talk about the development phase here a little bit too, because we've got some information from stuff that came out post SDCC. So there's only one transforming prototype of Unicron right now. We've seen at least 4 different prototypes. But all but one of them are built to just be in the mode they're shown, to give an idea of what the final product would look like when it's completed. The actual transforming one actually is the lowest detail, simplest looking one. And from what I heard, they took it away behind a curtain at the Pulse party to transform it because they were afraid it was going to break.
Ooh.
They didn't want anybody to see them cry. I'm adding that bit myself. Nobody actually said that, but yeah, they were afraid it was going to break, though. The other thing is, this came out in an interview from Awesome Toy Blog on YouTube.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt. Our friend Matt Guzzi. So he actually asked John Warden how long Unicron's been in development so far, and just to get to the hand-built prototype stage they're at right now has been 18 months.
Oh yeah.
And
Wow.
if the HasLab campaign goes through, they're not expecting delivery until early 2021. So that could be another 16 to 18 months. We could be looking at a total 3+ year timetable on developing this, which would be one of the longest we know of for a single Transformers toy.
I'd just like to mention I've been asking for it longer than 18 months.
You know.
And
We
also,
know.
something else you guys kind of hinted at, which is a really good point. I think John started to say something about it. This month, at least for me, because I'm paid bi-weekly, August will actually be a 3-pay month for me.
Yeah.
So that's actually
me too.
works out really well for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's why things like
Me too.
Kickstarters have burst toward the end, because even if it's not people waiting for a specific paycheck to come in to pay for this, or have the money ready to go directly into their credit card statement to offset it, they're accumulating that over the course of 2 or 3 or 4 pay periods if possible. That said, I still think the end of the run burst is still what's just going to get us up into the 4,000s.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
don't say that.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, not even being funny, but I think anybody who's ever worked in a grocery store and retail, they know the 3rd day of the month is Social Security Day.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Anybody who goes and shops at a grocery store knows to not go there on the 3rd day of the month.
so I mean,
That's the most crowded.
there are Transformers fans who are drawing Social Security or disability. I wouldn't be surprised if on the 3rd day of the month, 4th day of the month, we start seeing stuff kick up a little bit. I mean, there are going to be fluctuations along the way.
Yeah.
John is asking in the chat, and I'm saying they're not doing this at all. What level does it need to get for Hasbro Takara to fudge it? I don't think they're going to fudge it.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think 8,000 is their number. Don was, after we recorded an RFC daily update, Don was talking about this, and I'm like, they set 8,000 for a reason. There's a target that they have to make to turn a profit, but it's not just a profit of if you don't want to you make a $5 profit, you don't want to put 3 years into something and not get, a return on investment. So
Yeah.
you've got to make a certain amount of money. Otherwise,
Yeah, they've got a high break-even margin on this.
Yeah.
Just necessarily, they do have a high break-even
Yeah.
margin.
So somebody's
Yeah.
boss's boss will be very upset if they go to all this effort and, have a minimal return on it. And if it is probably better for them to take a loss on it because they can write that off on their taxes than it would be for them to take a small profit. So keep that in mind.
This is where I want Don to start yelling, "They're leaving money on the table!"
Yeah.
That might have happened after the extra special. No,
Yeah.
no, the only point I made at the same time, though, was, like, Hasbro would be fully capable of financing this themselves, and I think the HasLab component of this is more to guarantee that they have buyers for the Unicrons that they do make.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Don.
All right, now
Don, last comment.
No, I was just going. No, I was just going to say, I think as we see this Unicron, as we get closer to the end of August, we're going to be seeing other places pop up, taking orders for this as they reach out to other partners.
We'll see.
So I heard today that Hasbro is doing something on their official Taobao storefront with this too.
Really?
Oh, I can check that.
Cool.
Yeah, I only heard that a couple hours ago, so I didn't have any time to try to go look into it myself.
So Red Foreman in the
But
chat.
that's opening up to China.
Red Foreman in the chat said that HasLab Masterpiece Headmaster RC. There you go, Don. So Matt, I'm going to let you take the first comment on our next news item.
okay, so the reason we're actually here this week.
Yes.
Now that we got the Unicron nonsense out of the way.
Why don't you tell us about this? What happened?
Big convoy.
Yes.
Oh no, we're skipping right to the important stuff.
Yeah, I
So
know.
Summer Wonderfest was this past weekend, and we got to see all 6 of the SEACONs.
Yes.
And they are absolutely glorious. Even in their primer gray, they look fantastic.
Aren't they
And
just
we will-
retools?
And we will definitely get them before Unicron.
Aren't they just
I don't-
retools?
I mean, they're in the test shot state before Unicron.
Yeah.
But they are retools, right?
No. Well, Diecast, I think you're looking at between Generation Springer and Sandstorm. You could call that a retool, but no matter how significant it was a very significant retool. What we're looking at here, I don't think a retool would work for the SEACONs. I don't
They're
think.
retools.
A lot of them are retools. Tentakill, at least, is what we call the shared engineering.
And
So
before,
it's
and
not a retool in the most specific sense.
and before people jump on Don for calling Springer and Sandstorm retools, those were designed at the same time to share engineering, just like Matt said. That those aren't retools, but most of these are retools.
I mean, where do you draw the line? So sometimes, to me, the line gets a little.
If they were
blurry on it.
designed at the same time to be 2 completely different things, that's not a retool.
I'm just throwing that in there because I don't have anything else to throw in there. So I'm not really trying to debate it.
Yeah, no,
I'm just trying to throw some salt.
But
The real problem with what Don is presenting this as is that our language to describe how Transformers are designed has not kept up with the reality of how Transformers have come to be designed over the last 10 years.
Cool. So yes, best news ever. I was really excited. So
And diecast, it's a combiner. Of course, they're retools.
Yeah. So
there's only like 2 combiner molds, right?
More or less.
Per year, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think we figure out that any of them could be a gun if they wanted to be.
Yeah, anyone could be a gun because you plug the combiner peg from the limb robot onto the socket in the Power of the Prime combiner hand, because that's apparently a perfect fit that nobody clued into in a year and a half.
Yeah.
But now that that's been pointed out, Transformers Twitter has been getting rather interesting.
Yes.
And scary.
Yeah, just with how people are able to integrate that into other combiners and make combiners.
Well,
and
I
stuff.
mean, Siege Hound can now absorb whole combiner limbs into himself.
No, Siege Hound can now assimilate Combiner Wars Hound.
Oh wow.
So
Too much
basically, they're
Hound
bored.
energy is dangerous, man.
Conception. Okay. Yeah, but so anything else we want to talk about? The SEACONs. I mean,
Tentakill we don't actually have a good look at because the display, it's in a glass cube display cabinet thing, and Tentakill was basically dead set in the middle, so there was no way to get a good close-up angle on it. What we know about it is basically come from what we can see like between King Poseidon's legs, and just where we can get peaks at different angles.
Yeah, the initial photos had the Tentakill figure standing behind something else, and it was standing in front of the Tentakill that was attached to the overall King Poseidon figure. So we couldn't really get a good look at either use of the mold in the case.
But we did end up being able to eventually tell that it was a retool of Moonracer, not Chromia. Chromia is a completely different mold from Moonracer. And it looks like it does have the most impressive amount of re-engineering done to it to make it into a squid instead of a stupid-looking shoe car.
So, Tentakill was in Beast Wars was Scylla, right? Or Scylla, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Mm-hmm. That's the only one I can ever remember the name of, because there was had a friend on Alt Toys Transformers that was her screen name.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Gaylor was Gulf, I think.
Yeah, so there's some controversy as to whether or not these are to be repainted into, like...
Is it even really a controversy?
Speculation. Whether or not they're going to be repainted into God Neptune, etc.
I just assume they're future-proofing themselves on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, sure, if they sell well enough, they'll absolutely do it.
Or if they just need to, trot out some space filler in, 2 years.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion. Nothing like that's a foregone conclusion that we're getting anything like that until, rubber hits the road and they sell well.
Yeah. But I'm really pleased and impressed with what we're seeing out of these, even just being retools of the retread combiner engiring.
And thankfully, they didn't retool Cutthroat into anything. They just left him out of the set altogether.
I definitely want to see them in color.
What did I say? Cutthroat?
Yeah.
Yes, it was Ripper Snapper that was left out. Cutthroat became Sea-Wing.
Yeah, I wrote too.
Yeah,
well, one of them was left out altogether, and it was whichever one was the worst one.
Ripper Snapper was left out altogether. Cutthroat became Sea-Wing. Blot became 2 of them, I think.
Center Twin didn't become anything, though, did it?
No, Center Twins was left out.
Yes, because Center Twin's the worst one.
Yeah, Center Twin is the worst one. So, also...
I keep mixing up my Terracon names.
This is a very important conversation we're having, too.
Yeah, this is what happens. I didn't have my list in front of me when we started out.
Also, at Wonderfest, we saw Unicron Destroyer Big Convoy, which, if Takara's going to get me to buy that mold again, that's exactly how they'll do it.
With a gun that's as big as he is.
Yes. So that was a weapon that was featured in the anime, which our buddy Bill on Twitter was asking. He's like, well, I don't know much about this. I'm like, it's not worth watching. Beast Wars second.
Isn't Neo only that's Neo.
Neo
isn't
and
it
second
only
are not worth watching.
30 episodes long or something?
Yeah, they're very short.
It's not like it's a big time sink.
They're both horrible. So one of my favorite stories, I can't remember, I think it was second, my buddy Gabe, Recharge, who used to be on the podcast from time to time, he met his wife in Japan, and when they were dating, he would get her to translate Beast Wars second as it airs, and she would laugh hysterically through this because it was just so stupid and immature. Not worth watching. But
but still, I mean, you have to know when the relationship survives that, nothing's going to break them up.
No. But yeah, I want this. I can't. I really want this.
Nothing's going to stand in their way.
Not tonight. So yeah, that's. Let's see. What else? There was. What else was at Wonderfest worth talking about?
I mean, new, not really anything. They had plastic color samples of Spinister and Rung. But again, Spinister was placed in the display in such a way that nobody was able to get a good picture of it. So that wasn't really helpful. But the colors still look brilliant.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Unicron,
and that's the most important thing.
God, it's huge.
Yeah, so this is, I think, the fourth Unicron hand-built prototype. They did this one in flat primer gray because I think that's what the Japanese audience expects and connects to more than, painstakingly full color ones.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, for showing off intricate sculpted detail, nothing is better than a primer gray prototype. Like, a toy will never look better in terms of the physical details than it will when it is that flat gray.
Yeah. Well, things are usually disappointing once we actually see them in color.
But that gray is really good for contrast when lit correctly, and so, like, if you want to just demonstrate all that went into it, that's the best way to do it.
So moving along, this was something that didn't get as much play, I think, because of other stuff that popped up. But at ACG 2019 in Hong Kong, we got to see the Siege Power Dashers, which I think was unexpected. Did we know about those before?
So there's been a couple of rumor lists that were floating around, which when I initially heard them had things like Rainmakers on them, and I thought were just fights of fancy, because why would they ever release, 3 Siege Seeker redecos all in the same year that the first use came out?
But it happened.
Yeah, no, basically everything on that rumor list has proven to be true, so...
Yeah, that's the one that Ant shared out on Twitter, and I'm like, I have that account blocked, so I don't see stuff like that, because I hate spoilers or leaks. I hate them.
So the Power Dashers are retools of, minor retools of the other 2 weaponizer molds. We saw the first Power Dasher in that 3-pack with Hologram Mirage and Impactor, IDW Impactor.
These two both look better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have more color variety, too, so that doesn't really hurt anything. What's interesting, or what I think is interesting, these seem like they were displayed by mistake. Because the pictures that we're showing right now are screen caps from a video from Facebook. And then I saw one additional actual photo of each of them from another Facebook post. And then no other coverage from this event showed the Power Dashers. And the Facebook post with the 2 photos disappeared. It was removed. So I don't think those were meant to be shown yet.
This is similar to that Agent M story from Toy Fair with the 30th anniversary items that popped up. Yeah, except for I think those were intended to be out just
for someone, yes.
For someone, but this was probably
retailers.
For Walmart, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I was seeing when they were on display, like they were with a bunch of other Generation Select stuff, which is basically all stuff that's available. But like looking closely through it, a bunch of the stuff had like the wrong name tags attached. So the Combat Megatron had the Studio Series Megatron name tag on it, and just like other simple mistakes like that. So I think the booth was initially set up incorrectly, including putting those Power Dashers out there, and then someone came through and fixed it and took those away because they weren't supposed to be out. So we have very little to go on with those right now.
So let's see here. Diecast, did you see this story? It popped up. This is really your bag, about the Transformers collector's card game. What the news from today?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell us about it.
They're going to have their 4th wave of fourth wave of cards, and they're going to have the Mighty Titan Trypticon to fight. So you're going to get
one per box, right?
Wave 4 Siege box includes 30 booster packs and a Trypticon pack. The Trypticon pack contains 1 Titan-sized Trypticon character card. Now, this is the weird thing. Now, like, booster boxes are normally, like, broken up into the store and sold as individual booster packs. So, what's going to happen when it gets to the store? I don't know. It just seems really weird. Or maybe this is going to be one that's not going to be available loose. You're going to have to buy a booster box to get this.
Where would you get a booster box? At a hobby shop?
I think you can either do it at a hobby shop or Amazon. I know has booster boxes.
Target, Target, I guess, and Walmart sell them in packs.
Yeah, they sell them in packs. So they're basically opening the booster box and putting the packs out for individual sale. But yeah, they're going to have 1 Trypticon, and then you're also going to have his minions in regular card format. So Brunt, Full Tilt, and Wipeout. And but it's not going to be available until November 8th. So think it's a little bit early to start talking about this. I'm surprised that they would have put this out like this far in advance. I'm excited for it, but I wish they would have like told me, beginning October. That way I don't forget, because I'll probably forget by the time this comes out. I'll have to like put it on my calendar just to make sure that I can order it somewhere.
I mean, they'll probably continue talking about this, on and off in the coming weeks and months. I don't think they'll let you completely forget about it, because then they wouldn't be doing their jobs well.
Right. I just like it's I don't know. Those big cards can be really good if you build a good deck with it. Like I think they were saying, the Metroplex card is actually pretty good if you build a deck with it. Matt and I saw the Devastator deck is pretty devastating if you play it right. So there's a lot of components in this, and I'm excited for these new characters to get involved in the game and to see how we can build decks with these new character cards.
Cool. Hey, so Chris just reminded me about this other news item. Chris, what do we know about this Chromia retooled as Nightbird?
So it's Siege Chromia, which has been retooled to be Nightbird.
I like the Legends version from RC better, honestly.
I mean, okay, I do too, but that's largely to do with it having the actual like silver paint cover and not being just the flat plastic.
That's also several years old and kind of hard to come by now.
Yeah, but I have one, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, so do I. I don't need this. But not everyone is so fortunate.
That's true.
I'm not going to get this one. I don't feel the need.
The only way I can see myself getting this is if they do something interesting with accessories for it.
Like Fujiyama? Toriyama.
No, Fujiyama.
Fujiyama, yeah.
Toriyama is Dragon Ball.
Oh, that's right.
I have Chromia and Eyeshot right over there, and like I do not need a Nightbird with that backpack sticking off of it.
I mean, the Takara one has a backpack also, but it's a lot better managed.
Not like that.
Yeah, it's a lot better managed. The balance of the figure is better, and I like the deco and finish on that better. But if they do several piece weapons that combine into some kind of big stupid super weapon, they would get my money for that most likely, because I'm into my weird weapon gimmicks and stuff like that. If they do something creative with this besides just putting a Nightbird head on a admittedly nicely decorated Chromia body, but just as it is. Anyway, this picture popped up on Twitter in isolation. We don't know anything more about where it came from or where it's going or.
The accessories I want for this. I want it to come with wedding rings for her in Siege Megatron. Deep cut, sorry.
Yeah.
But
I was just silently appreciating that one.
I mean, but what would she come with? I mean, the chip, the World Energy chip that she can hold in her hand,
and some World Energy dip. You don't want to just have a dry World Energy chip done.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying. I mean, did she use size and smoke bombs?
She had size and a lightsaber, I think,
or something. Yeah, she did have size. Yeah, and the lightsaber.
I mean, you could totally engineer up some interesting weapons that become a bigger, stupider looking weapon, and lean into the fun side of it a little bit more.
That's what Siege is all about, really.
Or, I mean, we're assuming this is going to be a Generation Selects thing, so, it does free them up a little bit in terms of, they don't necessarily have to hit one specific price point. They can make it be $25 or something and have it come with a weaponized, or not a Battle Master. There's different ways they could go with this. Hopefully they will do more like Ratchet and make new accessories to go with that do interesting things together.
Well,
or I can just not buy it.
With my luck, they'll probably 2-pack it with one of the Power Dashers I want, so I have to buy it.
In the chat, people are talking about, it's like, Megs isn't the varying type. Well, if you're around in all the All-Toys Transformers in the mid-90s, you would know.
Yeah.
There was, for those people that don't remember, there was a couple of fans that were very, very into the.
I mean,
ship
John, it's not even
at the
people that
time.
don't remember. It's
There
people that
was?
weren't born.
Some of the people in the chat weren't born when that happened. Yeah.
Eric
There are
wasn't born
still-
when that happened,
Yeah.
for instance.
So
And some of us are just blissfully ignorant of the whole thing.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea, Matt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, and I like it that way.
So Universal Studios, they're getting a leader. It's leader class, right? Leader class
Yeah.
Studio Series, Dark of the Moon Megatron repaint as an exclusive. This is gonna have to be $100.
Well, Universal, yeah.
Yeah, because evac was like 30 or 35 at
And
the
I
time.
can't remember if I have evac
Yeah.
or not. I think I do.
I do.
I should have. Yeah, I think I do, but I'm not certain.
I never got one, but I wasn't that bothered. But I like the idea behind this. Like, the deco is specifically inspired by the Megatron interaction mascot character they have walking around the ride,
Ah, yes. Yeah.
which is like a fan favorite for anybody who's like either seen it in person, talked to him, or has watched the YouTube videos where people have liked it so much they've recorded the interactions and shared them.
Yeah. So that's something. Rob Springer's excited about that, and I picked a little bit, but I want it. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I'll happily live without it, but I appreciate the
I can
idea and that
live
it
with it.
exists.
Yes.
I can live without it.
Let's see here. What else we got going on? And we don't need to talk about the SDC stuff. That's not a big deal. Okay, so Cyberverse official images. That Spark Armor Ratchet. Is that the same one that we saw Yes, yeah, it is. So
From the Argos catalog.
yeah. So this is interesting. So he comes with a little, what is it, a snow sled?
Snowmobile, yeah.
Snowmobile that he can combine with. And I really like the look of it.
I'm more into the Shockwave a little bit. Shockwave comes with a little satellite accessory, and when you combine them together, it makes him look like Energon Shock Blast.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So I saw the Arc Optimus at Target last week, and that's showing.
Oh, what'd you
now.
think of that?
I'm not paying $50 for it.
Me either. Maybe 25?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get it, but for Cyberverse stuff, I mostly wait till it's on clearance.
I mean, I'll pay full price for the Spark Armor Skybite.
Yeah, somebody's got to save my day.
And I might get the Cheetor with the battleship if I see that at some point. I'm kind of interested, but not enough to go out of my way for it, I don't think. But
Yeah.
I may or may not have Skybite on pre-order on Amazon right now.
Real quick, just to get through a couple things here. We're running longer than I expected, but I wanted to get a couple questions in. But first, hey, tfradio.net/Amazon. It's how we pay for everything right now. I promised John we would do a Patreon, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. You can pick up some stuff there. You can pick up the Voyager, Decepticon Phantom Strike, 4-pack, tfradio.net/Phantom. The Autobot Alpha Strike set, tfradio.net/Alpha. Crosshairs at tfradio.net/Crosshairs. But you can just get anything at Amazon. tfradio.net/Amazon. You can buy toilet paper, toothpaste. I bought toothpaste from Amazon with caffeine in it, and I'm not dead yet.
You should put in there a short link for the Fan Vote Battle 3-pack, because I understand people have been having a hard time actually finding that normally.
Okay. That'll be at 3 Battle, tfradio.net/Battle once I finally get it in there. Yeah.
Now, which one is that? Which one is that, Chris? These.
Impactor, Mirage, and
Okay.
Power Dasher.
People were looking for that.
People want
For
it.
the Impactor and the Power Dasher, probably, yeah.
Hey, people like me want to get everything.
And I mean, from my perspective, the Mirage could be interesting to try to photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's certainly something to get. tfradio.net/Battle. I'll have it done by the end of the show. What else do we got going on? But yeah, you can buy anything. I'm not dead. Hey, and guess what? I went to my doctor today. My blood pressure, excellent.
Ooh,
Excellent
nice.
blood pressure. Caffeinated toothpaste and all. So But if you need to check your blood pressure, you can get a blood pressure monitor at Amazon, I'm certain. And if you have a flexible spending account, you can use your FSA card on Amazon. Just saying.
If you're gonna get a blood pressure cuff on Amazon, be sure to read the reviews carefully, because not all those are created equal. And my mom has had more than a couple different kinds of given wildly inaccurate readings.
So I will say this: it is something I bought, and it makes me sad. I think it works. It's just that. So I've been trying to do like a low carb diet, and so I've been trying to go into ketosis, and you have these little strips, and according to the strips, I had no ketones in my system whatsoever, and I have been hardcore into like no carbs and anything. So I actually got a breath meter thingy from Amazon that I blow into, and 0 ketones. So yeah. So I can't say.
Are you sure you didn't just get a breathalyzer by mistake?
It looks exactly like one. I saw one on TV. I think it's the same functional thing, but the
maybe you should have a couple beers and then blow into it and see what it says.
That's true.
Just for science.
Yeah, for science.
Have some beers for science.
But yeah, so that was pretty cool. But I got that at Amazon. You can get anything there, like sugar-free candy.
Oh, that's such a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
Don't do that to people.
Amazon. So really just wanted to get a couple of emails and texts out of the way. I had one in here that I just decided I was going to respond, though, via email directly, because I don't think it was really worth mentioning. But our buddy John had an interesting anecdote. Like, we've probably seen toy swaps before, some crazy ones. This was one that was kind of unexpected. A Fans Project City Commander that was swapped with Siege Ultra Magnus.
What was really interesting, I looked at the picture that was attached with this, and someone went to the trouble of dry brushing silver on the edges, like that'll damage paint.
I didn't even see the photo. I saw where he shared the video on Facebook.
So
I
didn't see that.
Yeah, I'll need to check that out. But yeah, it was pretty crazy that was something that was done. He just wanted to share that. And here's something from a few weeks back. I'm just trying to work through the log here. I think this is relevant since we have all of these. We're talking about the Rainmakers and everything. This is from Jeremy. He said, "Hey guys, love the show as always. I wanted to drop a line and give a tip for those wanting to remove the battle damage on Siege figures. A lot of folks are ordering more potent rubbing alcohol online, while the answer lies at your average local hardware store, even Walmart. What you're looking for is denatured alcohol. Look in the hardware department at your local retailer, and you'll likely find it. Just try to do it on Siege Megatron. It works wonderfully. Of course, it still doesn't remedy the scenarios where the damage is on top of the painted areas, but it's much easier to acquire and takes the, quote, dirt off, as his 4-year-old son calls it, quite easily. That's pretty accurate and fairly quickly. Yeah. So easily that even Don could do it.
I would still recommend caution using that around clear plastic elements.
Yeah.
Hey Mickey has used alcohol and stuff for paint removal in the past and found that it will both cloud the clear plastic if used indiscriminately, let's say, and will also make it more brittle and prone to breaking. So it's definitely something that you should use caution with if you're going to apply to clear plastic areas.
So he goes on, hope this helps you guys and the RFC Nation. Love you, Don. Oh, and love you other folks too, just not as much as Don.
That's about normal.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, hey, thank you, Jeremy. That's good to know. Hey, Rob, what's on T-Formers this week?
Okay, we've got a couple of things. We've got a review of the Lewis Resources Atlas, which is an upscaled MP10 with a Captain America shield.
Is this diecast review?
Colors. I don't believe so.
Oh.
No, I didn't get it.
What? Not yet. You're waiting.
From the video image, it looked like it might be Ben's Collectibles. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think
looked like his shooting environment.
Yeah, this Ben's Collectibles. Okay, yeah.
I can pick that out way too easily for my comfort.
I've got a Unicron I need to for.
Yeah, that's why I can't buy a Castle Grayskull right now either.
Yeah,
yes.
And besides, you've got the first Lumen as well.
Yeah, and this one is...
But this one's Captain America.
And it's almost as much as Unicron, so...
Yeah. God,
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Captain America Giant Optimus knockoff before Unicron. That's our new hashtag.
I don't remember that.
But beyond that, we've got an interview with John Warden and Lindsay Bernier about Unicron, among other things. And that is a 40-minute video.
Holy crap! I need to watch that.
Yeah, so
I haven't blocked out enough time for that yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either. So
cool.
Should be interesting.
Awesome. So you can, I guess that's it. You can follow us on Twitter at TF Radio. Or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TFRadio. Why don't you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get the updates so you can watch us live, tfradio.net/live, or again, just subscribe to YouTube and get notifications and you can watch us. You can join us in the chat like all of our lovely people that we have here.
Our live chat is exclusive to YouTube every week, so if you want to hang out and interact with us, definitely head over to the YouTube channel.
Absolutely. I am personally on Twitter at bkilby and on Instagram at Brian Kilby. I'm, again, posting pictures of my kids, but I can't post their faces, so you get a lovely face swap. My favorite one this week was when my 7-year-old said, "Don't face swap me." I did it anyway. Yeah, so
you could have just blanked out her face, and then you would have been following her wishes.
Yeah, well,
that would have been even creepier.
He doesn't get a vote.
That'd be hard to accomplish.
Find a good photo of an action figure of the question and just
Oh yeah,
nice. Rob Springer, who isn't here. I mention Rob every week. It feels just like yesterday that Rob was on the show, but it's been like 10 years now. But we still mention Rob.
I still from time to time think Rhinox farted.
Yeah. God, no, it hasn't been 10 years since Rob was on, but it's been years.
8 maybe.
God Almighty! What, Rob? I'm just gonna stop mentioning it every week. Come back, then you'll get your plug. Come back at RoboRob Springer on Twitter and at thezonebase.org. So, yeah, come back. Okay, so yeah, and John, how are you getting? How do people get a hold of you?
The button didn't work. It's stuck. The unmute. Anyway, I'm that John D everywhere still,
except for LinkedIn. Jason, do people know you don't want to be mentioned? Never mind.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I forgot.
Oh, him and Melvar.
Yeah, Melvar doesn't have anything, so you can't follow him out. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
And as Red Foreman mentioned in the chat, there was no Massey attack tonight. No.
We had a couple close calls, though.
Don just had a bad cramp.
Well, no, yeah, my leg was starting to cramp up. I had one last night. I had to get in the middle of the night and get some mustard.
Unless you're having like a heart attack, before you go to your leg, go to your mouse and click on Skype and hit the mute button.
I'm sorry. I thought I could stretch without hitting anything. And
you can't do anything about it.
Do it.
Yeah, your microphone's going to pick it up. Don, you wearing your microphone on your head, it's going to pick it up.
Well, I thought my leg was far enough away from the microphone and wouldn't pick up. Apparently not.
Don. Did you say a moment ago that you had to get up in the middle of the night to get mustard?
Wait, did he say that?
For the turmeric. Yes, turmeric is good for leg cramps.
Oh, turmeric. Okay.
So
is that taken orally or applied, topically?
You wonder why the cat's biting you, because you got mustard on your leg.
No, I took the mustard, I shook it, I held it up and squirted it into my mouth.
Why did I think you were going to say that you held it up and squirted it into your eye? Like, you were in the middle of that sentence, I was sure you were going to finish with my eye.
Yes.
Well, I've had everything else in this eye for the past 3 months. I mean,
okay, we need to put some emergency mustard on the
emergency mustard.
A bottle that he can keep. A bottle that he can keep by his bedside all the time.
No, I just need to buy some. I need some more potassium.
It keeps a good long time. I mean, you could do that. It's mostly vinegar.
There's no emergency mustard, but there was an emergency mustache.
Oh well, that's good enough.
That's good enough.
Well, okay, Brian. Why don't you put the French's pack of mustard that was on there at one point? You mentioned there's like a 50 count pack of French's mustard.
Oh, mustard
buy a bulk box of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mustard
Yes,
packets.
mustard packets are perfect for this. That they're practically they're built for a first aid kit. It's obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he could keep him in the drawer next to his bed,
Yeah.
so he doesn't have to get up to the refrigerator.
Okay,
to
to
shoot
500.
This plan is perfect.
500 packets.
No, it's just
How much is 500
$25
packets of
bucks.
French? How much?
$25. So 5 cents each.
That's
not
that's
bad.
no. It's just I just need to get some bananas and get some potassium in me. I'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
But then you'd have to eat bananas.
But no.
Well, yeah, but I've got peanut butter, and they go fine with each other. I like a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Medicinal mustard. TFRadio.net/Massey Attack.
Legalize it. Medicinal mustard.
Medicinal mustard. I am for the legalization
Okay,
of
well then,
medicinal mustard.
okay. I'm just gonna say this, guys. It actually did help because I was able to finally go back to bed about 10 minutes later after it finally unkinked. So I'm serious.
Good.
If you have a leg cramp in the middle of the night and you don't have anything else, get a hot washcloth and try some mustard.
Okay, so I don't know if it's going to do anything for our SEO, but the title of this episode is going to be Medicinal Mustard.
Why do we even do a Transformers podcast when we could just be sitting around talking about this stupid crap?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on Twitter at Diecast2. Also, you can see me or hear me on Mike's Cyber Radio. I was on there recently to talk about Unicron. Surprise. And you can follow me on, or like my page on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast, and you can see all my reviews on tfradio.net/reviews.
Cool. Chris.
So I theoretically post galleries and other assorted guides and photography articles and toy things on playwithphotography.com. I don't have something up this week. The last thing I posted was Red Alert. Yes. Siege Red Alert, a gallery for that went up over the weekend. I wasn't able to get anything out this week because the Lancer came defective, and that's kind of a problem. But I'm going to try to have something up in the next few days. I just don't quite know what yet. But I would recommend, following me on social media for probably a preview of whatever that is as I post random photos. So you can check that out either by going to Instagram.com/playwithphotography or following on Twitter at playwithphotos. If you like the work I do and want to both encourage me and help me to be able to do more of it, you can contribute to my Patreon for as little as $2 per month, or you can pledge at the $5 level and get your name put on a credits page that goes on new galleries and get week early access to most new galleries that go up. And you can find information about all of that at patreon.com/playwithphotos. If for whatever reason you'd like to follow me personally on Twitter, I'm at ChrisRTXV. I'm not doing anything interesting or fun at this point, but maybe eventually someday I will. Just the other day I did, however, post the interior of a Star Trek The Next Generation comm badge from a 4th season episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, so, there's still a little of that going on. Meanwhile, if you want to do a nice thing for me that's not related to Patreon, you could buy something off of my Amazon wishlist at tfradio.net/chrislist, and I think that finally covers everything.
Cool. Rob.
Okay, I'm on Twitter at Figure Reviewers and Flailthroughs. Flailthroughs is the name of my YouTube channel where I mostly cover Gundam-related things. At the moment, it's Gundam Battle Operation 2, which should be out in North America sometime in the next couple of months. Going pretty well with that. They just had the first anniversary last week in Japan. Added the 0083 Gundams into that, the GPO-1 and GPO-2. So, and I had a friend donate some GPO-1 footage to me since I haven't dropped it yet, so much appreciation there. Let's see. Also, I have a Patreon for that, patreon.com/flailthroughs. If you want to see specific rounds, if you want to request specific mobile suits and color schemes, a couple of bucks a month will do that for you. I also have an Amazon wishlist at tfradio.net/claylist. And I want to finish up this week with a harebrained scheme I had on Twitter yesterday. Yeah, okay, so say you want to see Unicron get made, but you obviously are not going to be able to afford one yourself. Or say you are trying to fund a Unicron by selling off toys you already have. I am recommending using the hashtag Unicron sale just to, spread that around so people can look for things to buy from people who are trying to fund Unicrons. Maybe they can find something nice for themselves and, help us get to this threshold that looks very far away at the moment. So, yeah, that is it. Hashtag Unicron sale if you are, trying to sell to get a Unicron, or if you are looking to buy things to help somebody get a Unicron.
Cool. That's a great idea. Okay, I guess that's it, as Don is rifling around and not muting his microphone. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you. Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. 100% girlfriend free since 1999.